Hey, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I am your host, Neil Johnson. Excited to be with you. I got actually a couple great stories to share with you, so I'm just super excited about this subject. Actually, I forgot to do something though on this stream, so hold on one second. I got to do that on my channel here. But do chat in with where you are from. Smash the like button if you would, please, and let's get this stream going. Start out. Actually, I am curious what you guys were up to today. I actually got out, did a little bit of mountain biking, hit the gym, did some things like that. So I'm curious if you guys are getting out, enjoying all the great stuff that's out there to be enjoyed. I'm going to do one thing here with this video. It's going to start playing. Bam. Okay, there we go. And I got to post something here. And this, so apologize, I forgot to do this. Actually, I was setting it up through StreamYard, and then I decided to do it this way. And then that caused it to be different. So anyways, I apologize about that. But and my edit button is not even there. You gotta be kidding me. I must be logged into the wrong account. No. I'm on the right account. And it's not letting me edit it. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay. So what do we got? Okay, it's good to see you. Julie, good to see you on. Patty, good to see you on. Hey, I missed you too, Patty. And but what did you guys do today? Just curious. There it is. Save. All right. So, you guys want? How many of you have seen the movie Sound of Freedom? I want to see that in the chat first. How many of you have actually seen the movie Sound of Freedom? Linda, I see you there. Fred, see you. How many of you have seen it? I want to know. It's important. I want to see it. Bill, yeah. How many have actually seen it? Yes, Susan's seen it. Michelle's seen it. Barry's seen it. Okay. Dan, hello to you as well. Kentucky, good to see you on, Patty. Sheila saw it. Tim saw it. Okay. I haven't got to see it yet. Want to see it. Good, Fred. Okay. Linda says, can't do it. I know enough. Buy somebody a ticket then or something, because you got to support this movie. Now, here's the thing. The left is in full-on freak-out mode over this. So I was on Twitter, and Rolling Stone has done like 3 hit pieces on this movie. CNN has done one. They're calling it a QAnon conspiracy, all this kind of stuff. Okay. So I responded to Rolling Stone because the reporter, I looked up his profile, looks like an absolute freak, okay? And just, with his associations and everything that you can see on there. But I responded to him. They're attacking it on so many fronts. They're calling it like a conspiracy. Tim Ballard's a real guy. Operation Underground Railroad is a real thing. This exists. Okay, it exists. I mean, and they're saying it's a QAnon conspiracy? I mean, what is this? So I'm like, well, what the heck are they attacking this? Well, they're having a panic attack. The only thing I can gather is that they have to be involved in it. What else do you assume at this point? They're attacking the storyline. They're saying it's disjointed. The storyline is just the story of this guy Tim Ballard and going to rescue kids. It's not disjointed at all. There's nothing. I have been absolutely 100% super critical of Christian movies in the past. Bad acting, all this kind of stuff. This had none of that. It had none of that. And so, CNN and Rolling Stone are tech. So I go on Rolling Stone and I said to this guy, I said, so do you have a problem with pedophilia or something yourself? I mean, why are you, that's all I can figure. But they're having a freak out because it's actually not a documentary, GTO Mama. It's just based on a true story. A documentary is more in an interview format, but it is an actual movie, in the sense of a movie. Very well done, I felt. Yeah, I just there's no way you can watch that movie. I mean, look, why would you ever be against catching child traffickers? What? And Bud Light is still tanking even more. This is the boycott that keeps on giving, so keep up the good work there. There's a lot of good things going on. I was going to try to do a full live tonight, and I've got all these stories ready to rock and roll. I'll probably have to do it tomorrow night. It just started getting too late. But the other thing that, oh, by the way, I did post some links down below. If you started at the beginning of the stream, you might have to refresh it to get those. But I'm actually kind of excited because a company that I buy a lot of my hunting and camping and that type of merchandise from, a small business, non-wokesters, actually shared some articles with me. I know the business owner and stuff. I have an affiliate link for them down below, Black Ovis. That's where I get all my elk hunting gear. I just love it. So please go support them. And mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, that's down there. So just go check out the links. Got a couple new affiliate links, trying to do a few things with that. But I love Black Ovis, and you're actually supporting a good business. Yeah, Ben & Jerry's is... is Ben & Jerry's going to give their headquarters back to natives? Probably not, Brian. Probably not. That was the funniest story. So if you guys don't know what's going on, Ben & Jerry's, some natives actually said we want our land back. You know, after they did their whole thing about what they said. You know, Ben & Jerry's was doing a woke statement, and now a Native American came out and said that they wanted their land back, and they're on native lands. Anyway, smash the like if you would, please. Just yeah, of course it's old news, John. Doesn't matter. We are a commentary channel. I don't have to break news all the time. It's so funny how people like to comment. But the other thing too, and this just happened this morning. Well, actually, I got two. I really actually almost saved that one, but no, I'll do this one. So the judge has denied. So if you don't, so I know I did a quick stream on Missouri v. Biden the other day, and it was really disjointed because I had a friend showing up for coffee, actually my pastor, and I was concerned I needed to get in there. But here's a judge has denied the DOJ's request for the stay in the social media case. So I followed Missouri versus Biden. Many of you followed that case with me as I covered that. There was a lot to it. There were emails and depositions, and we found out all kinds of interesting things. And Jen Psaki didn't want to be deposed, but that could still happen. Dr. Fauci was deposed. So it started out just dealing with, the censoring of the COVID narrative. But then it turned into something much bigger, and it dealt with elections and just all kinds of censoring that was going on in social media. And then Adam Schiff, Pencil Neck Schiff out in California, was one of the people who was actually regularly contacting social media companies. So Adam Schiff was, his office, his staff were contacting these social media companies, actually asking them to take down accounts. So anyway, so this out of the Epoch Times, the DOJ after that case had obviously, because what had happened was the judge put in place a temporary injunction saying the government could not communicate with social media companies. And I know everybody's going like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. They're just going to do it anyways. Okay, fine. Then nothing matters. Nothing matters. We get all the court wins you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, people are so, I understand. You know what? We on the right, many of the people on the right act like a battered spouse, okay? Where nothing matters, and nothing's going to happen and all that. And you got to stop that. A movie that comes out like Sound of Freedom or This Win in Court are actually big wins, people, okay? And do you know what's really interesting? And I want to say this because I've been an election judge, a poll worker, all of that. And one of the things that happens is the people who are the least involved just sit and bitch on social media. Oh, nothing's going to happen. Get involved, and you'll start feeling better about the momentum because you'll find other people, and you'll see that there actually are people willing to make a difference instead of sit on their butts and snipe on social media. Make little comments on videos about how nothing's going to change. What's it matter anyhow? I'm sorry. I get tired of it. Okay? Sorry, that was a little ranty. All right, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I'm just telling you, if you're not involved in the solution, all you will see is the problem, and you're not doing anything about it. Okay, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of idiocy. All right, enough said. Y'all got it? You got that point? Okay, but judge denies the DOJ's request. Julie made this comment. Thank you, Julie, for that. Judge said if they don't comply, their 230 protection will be removed. Okay, that's Section 230, which, that's a whole other thing I could get into, but I'll stay on track here. So the DOJ had filed for a stay, saying we want to be able to talk to these social media companies and take down Americans and their free speech rights. We want to communicate with YouTube and tell them Neil Johnson's a bad boy. He needs to be demonetized and have strikes. Probably got shifts off his call. Actually, probably called Katie Hobbs, which I got a little thing on Katie. Okay, but judge denies DOJ's request for stay in social media censorship case. A federal judge on July 10th, by the way, he made that initial decision on the 4th of freaking July. This Judge Doherty is so base, he made it on the 4th of July. I just love it. But a federal judge on July 10th denied the DOJ request for staying a ruling that places limits on government communications with social media firms, rejecting the White House's argument that such an order could put a damper on law enforcement activity online. By the way, if I can do my live tomorrow night, I have a couple video clips on that, okay? It just depends on when I can get home from a few things that I have to do. But Terry Doty wrote in his order last week that there were exceptions for communications with cyber attacks, election interference, and meaning real election interference, like not there's problems with the elections. That's not what they're talking about in that case. Okay, they couldn't delete, suppress, do all this kind of stuff. Anyhow. That's a big win, because this whole case, I'm telling you, is the most important case going on right now, Missouri versus Biden. So I'll bring some more to the fray on that. I know I've been a little out of it, and I'm in art show season, so I apologize. That's I gotta go out there and do the hustle and make my money, sell my photography and whatnot. But this stay. I knew the government would do this. I knew it would be filed immediately, that they would, appeal that and ask for a stay. The judge refused it. The judge is so based. He's comparing this whole thing to 1984 and the Ministry of Truth, I'm sorry, which is, out of 1984. So the judge is doing a great job. The last thing I'll give you here, and I'll try and, like I said, do a little bit more, but Katie Hobbs, if you didn't see this, Jordan Conradson, nice young guy, actually. I met him, talked to him. I talk to him on the phone every once in a while because we met at a certain event. But he was at a health club and was trying to get Katie Hobbs to answer some questions. And I don't know if you guys saw this, to chime in if you saw this video. But Katie told him to F off because she's got such a potty mouth. Well, there was an article that came up from the Arizona Central, I think it was. Yeah, AZ Central, the Arizona Republic. Okay, now, I had actually started reading it, and then they gave me this thing. I will not give AZ Central any money. Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't have the article. I'm not going to give them a dime, okay? I'm not going to give them even $1. They're a rag. I mean, I've read their stuff before, okay? But basically what AZ Central had said was that Katie's F off responses, because now she gave another one, were the perfect response. Yes, perfect for a governor to just ignore her constituents and say, to F off. I mean, it's brilliant, the AZ Central. This is how tyrannical liberals think. Well, here's what's going on now with Hobbs. She's told another person to F off, and it was a county attorney. And to, give it an effing rest. That's what it was. Give it an effing rest. Okay. But so Hobbs, there you go, rejects, requests by 12 county attorneys to recognize their authority on abortion law. So basically, here's what's happened, just to give you the summation of it. Hobbs has rejected a request made by 12 of Arizona's 15 county attorneys to rescind her executive order taking away their authority to enforce abortion law. So let me read that sentence one more time. Do you guys get this? Governor Katie Hobbs has rejected a request, so they're requesting, this is where it gets so weird to me, a request made by 12 of Arizona's 15 county attorneys to rescind her executive order taking away their authority to enforce abortion law. Did you guys get that? The county attorney submitted a letter to the governor on Monday. The county attorneys issued a Friday deadline for her response. The governor issued an executive order last month stripping county attorneys of their ability to enforce law. Well, why the hell do we even have laws if some executive can just go, oh yeah. Well, it's kind of like, obviously the DOJ working with Joey Bribes to get, Hunter on 2 little misdemeanor charges, when the Hunter Biden laptop exposed a lot more. But think about that. Now she can just put forth an executive order to get the county attorneys not to even do law? In what world is that right? In what world is that a republic? That's a dictatorship in the state of Arizona. Here you go again. Abortion is banned after 15 weeks of gestation in Arizona. Okay. So I guess, if you have that much regrets, prior to 15 weeks, you can go snuff out the life of your child. But you can't even enforce that law. The letter pointed out that Hobbs' action undermined the duty and discretion of the county attorneys to enforce the law. No. Really? The governor's office should not interfere, okay, and so on. I don't even see how this executive order is even legal. But don't worry, because Katie Hobbs has already responded. Her new communications director, Christian Slater, tweeted in a response that Hobbs assuming control over the judiciary in an effort to undermine the current law was part of her putting her sanity over chaos. Listen, what world do these people live in where they think that sanity over chaos? So, in other words, the law that has to go through getting written into law. Do you guys remember, what was that, Schoolhouse Rock? I'm just a bill up on Capitol Hill. I'm only a bill. I'm only a bill. And, to become a law, what has to happen, right? There's this whole process, First you have a bill, and then it goes through, and then it gets signed into law by an executive. It has to go through the branches of government, and then it can go through the courts and be deemed unconstitutional if that's the case. But, of course, our courts don't even know what the frickin' Constitution is anymore. But anyways, so, this Christian Slater, we will not rescind this order. Governor Hobbs will continue to use her lawful executive authority to put sanity over chaos and protect everyday Arizonans from extremists who are threatening to prosecute women and doctors over reproductive health care. There's nothing of reproductive health care about it. It's ridiculous. And to think that an executive can just say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the law is. Yeah, it needs to go before the Supreme Court, Vanessa. But here's the problem. In the time, and I'm sure, then the Supreme Court of Arizona will say, yeah, this is dumb. Attorneys have to be able to do their job that they were elected to do or appointed to do or whatever, because it varies, and some county attorneys, I don't know exactly how it is in Arizona. We have prosecuting attorneys that are elected in some counties in Minnesota, some that are appointed, and so on. But the bottom line is there's a whole process for that law to be put in place. But this is the whole thing with that quote unquote prosecutorial discretion. And, we understand it to a point because, how do I want to say this? Okay, so let's just say there's a case in Minnesota. Perfect example. 22-year-old guy. He's out shooting, and all of a sudden The cops show up. A neighbor calls him in. Well, apparently he had an unserial gun, which is perfectly legal according to, the whole ruling on that, because the ATF tried to enact, this whole thing about unserial guns and ghost guns and all that stuff. Well, they were rejected by the court. Well, anyways, in Minnesota, this young man, 22, is being tried for a crime. Now, it never should have gotten to this point because the sheriff deputy should have just sent him on his way, because if you read the law, he's fine. But instead, he's being charged with a crime. So that's, and so they could say, well, there's this reading of the law that says unserial. Well, again, this deals with, and I'm trying to remember the exact issue with this case, but I can tell you this much. Guns prior to, what was that year? Did anybody in my chat know what year it was where guns actually started having serial numbers on them? Does anybody know? I can't remember the, America the Free, that's right. Too close to the target, exactly. Anybody got this? Anybody got the year on this? I want to say it was somewhere around 1950. But anyways, guns prior to that didn't even have serial numbers. So obviously that's a legal gun that's always been owned. And then they say, thank you, there it is. Michelle's got it, 1968. I knew it was somewhere around there. But the bottom line is he's being charged, and this prosecutor is using discretion to go above the law, where in a case, you can look at other cases where prosecutorial discretion should be used when obviously the intent was not to break the law. Does that make sense? That's what prosecutorial discretion is for, not to just totally ignore the law. Roundabout, I'm sorry. Okay. Julie says it was in the late 1800s, but I actually, Julie, I think it was in the 1900s. I think that the answer 1963 was correct. Anyways, just wanted to get this live done really quick. I will try to I've got all these video clips pulled, and I want to do like a full live, but it takes a little time to put that together. 1968 is when it was enforced. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, there's a lot of goofy things going on, Jeremy. I see that. Again, please, Black Ovis, I've got a new affiliate, Black Ovis. Absolutely the best place to buy your hunting and camping gear. Small business. They're not wokesters. And, I've got some other affiliate links down there too. And certainly mypillow.com. Promo code Lumberjack will allow you to save big money there. But thank you so much for all your support. Obviously this channel was demonetized, by the YouTube overlords, because they didn't like what I had to say. Imagine that. So I have sponsors and affiliate links, and we'll see how that works out. I do have Rumble, Michelle. Yes, certainly. And I'm, I guess, monetized on Rumble, but you don't make anything on Rumble, but which is fine. It's, look, I just can't do it as much as I used to, because I've got my art shows and everything going on, and I got all my kids, and I gotta make things happen that way. But yeah, if you're looking for outdoor gear, I'm serious. Black Ovis is the greatest. It's the greatest. The link is down below. It's in the description. But thank you all so very, very much. I will work on getting that live pulled together. So please just turn your notifications on, and I'll put a little time into getting that one. But anyways, I love you. I love people. I do. And so you can say, well, how do you? How can you say you love me? Well, I just do. I love people. I love their stories. I'd love to meet more of you, and that may happen one day. If you're in Bemidji this weekend, I'll be at Bemidji Art in the Park. That's my hometown, actually, is Bemidji. So if you're up that way, it's a beautiful town. Stop by and say hi, and yeah, I'll be there. So Anyways, I'll catch you later. This is a long outro. This is the Minnesota goodbye, people. Peace out.